Have you ever signed a document, had it notarized, and wondered, what's the purpose of all this? Do we really need to have our documents notarized all the time?
Everyone at some point in their life has or will experience going to the notary and having their document notarized. Lahat yan. We can find notaries everywhere, from the big offices in Makati to the side streets close to City Hall. So our question for today comes from our anonymous reader, whom we will call Jhun-jhun.
With an H?
With an H.
Jhun-jhun.
Jhun-jhun. And he writes, Attorney, I lent my friend a big amount of money. Nahihiya po ako to say how much. We signed a document where my friend acknowledged that he owes me the amount. When my wife learned about it, she got angry at me because we did not notarize the document. Her friend told her that our kasulatan is invalid and useless because we did not notarize it.
Wow.
What can I do? Help me, please.
Yun.
Yan. Oh, before we move on, shout out nga pala to Mike S, who left us some nice words. He left us feedback on our website, and he says, content was very straightforward and easy to understand. Steps are clearly defined and easy to follow. Tips on how to fulfill the requirements are also provided, making it simpler. Mike was an enrollee in one of our workshops, so thank you so much, Mike. We
Thanks, Mike.
appreciate it. And if you guys ever find value in our videos or our workshops or books, and you want to leave us feedback and possibly get featured on our show, you might want to go to our website, click on the leave feedback button, or you can go to info.legalguy.ph/feedback to leave your own mark on our website. Now, going back, if you were wondering about the same thing as Jhun-jhun, stick around as we answer these questions today.
This episode is brought to you by Notary Not Included, a guide to the 7 most requested legal forms. It is a book that teaches what legal documents do, how they're made, and what to look out for. The book also includes downloadable soft copy templates which you can use for yourself. Let legal documents help you with everyday life. Go to info.legalguide.ph/notary to learn more.
Welcome to Legal Guide Philippines, where we simplify the law to help you make better choices. I'm Attorney Erwin Zagala, and I'm with my partner,
Attorney Ramon Ramirez.
So today, we're talking about notarizing. What is this?
Okay, I'm happy to talk about it. But before we talk about Jhun-jun's question, Jhun-jun's question with an H. Jhun-jun, you know who you are. And as a thank you for submitting your question, which was chosen to be today's episode, we will be giving you a copy of our book, Notary Not Included. So, libre yan for you. And to claim your book, your free book, please send us an email at info@legalguide.ph. Pakilala ka please and give us your shipping details. All right? So, let's have some context setting first. Now, let's go back to Jhun-jun's question. What happened here? His friend umutang. And then ako si Jhun-jun. O sige, sure. I'd be happy to magpautang. Medyo malaki yung amount. No?
And then ipapil natin.
Yes. Looking forward, okay, I think kailangan ko protektahan sarili ko, so let's put it on paper. So meron silang kasulatan. Okay, anong nilagay sa kasulatan? Siguro, I acknowledge na may utang ako kay Jhun-jun.
Or I owe you.
I owe you, ganyan. Babayaran ko. Siguro may mga ganyan pa, no?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. But we imagine may kasulatan. What's important here in the facts is, hindi daw siya ninotaryohan. Okay, so...
And nasabon siya ng misis.
Nasabon siya ni misis kasi sabi ng barkada ni misis, ay, invalid yan. Diba? Parang gano'n, no? So, ngayon, problema siya. Naku, baka hindi na ako bayaran ng kaibigan ko. I can't bring this to court. Yan. Okay. So, ganun ba ka-importante talagang notarizing? So
It's good to talk about it para
Yes.
medyo malinawan naman si Jhun-jun. And all of you guys who are under the same situation or could find themselves in the same situation.
Yes, definitely. So, let's talk about notarizing in general. Ano ba yung concept of notarizing? Well, what's very important about notarizing a private document. So, kumari, yung kasulatan natin, no? Having it notarized, what happens is when it's notarized and pumasa siya sa requirements ng notary, it transforms from a private document into a public instrument.
May alam akong tawag dyan.
Oh, ano yan?
Legal alchemy.
Legal
Oo.
alchemy. parang ano yan anime.
Oo.
Anyway, so now why would we want to transform a private document into a public instrument, Attorney Erwin? Well, kami as lawyers, it's really easier to submit in court as a evidence a document that is notarized, okay, or a public instrument. In fact, it's in the rules of court, no, that it's very easy to accept a public document. Okay, now as opposed to a private unnotarized document. So what happens in a private unnotarized documents if we present it into court? Kunwari, itong kasulatan, di ba, na hindi notarized. First of all, one of the rules say that the original must be submitted. So even
para ma-verify.
Ma-verify na dapat ang original lang isasubmit nyo sa court. E paano kung Xerox na lang meron ako, di ba? So that's a hurdle, no? And it happens a lot. It's hard to look for the original when it comes down to it, no? Also, it may happen that testimonies of yung mga pumirma dun sa document will be taken. So ang daming steps to
Tignan mo kung ilan ang inabala mong tao dyan.
Yes. So there's a lot of steps and ilang hearings yun just to prove it. I don't know, no, but it could be, no, several hearings as opposed to you present a notarized document which the court can easily accept.
What I'm seeing here, Attorney Ramon, is that if it's a public document, it has some presumptions attached to it na wala yung private document.
Correct. Presumptions that it was duly executed, di ba? Yung mga pumirma niyan ay sila talaga yung kung sino yung nakapangalan diyan, sila rin yung pumirma diyan. Okay? So, going to my next point, what is it generally that a notary does? No, ano ba talaga ang ginagawa niya? What's the relevance? So, a notary would want to prove that he has verified the personal appearance and the genuineness of the signatures of yung signatories.
Dumaan sa kanya. May salaan.
Yes. Nakita niya. Okay. Inano niya talaga yan. Pinirmahan niya talaga yan. And nakita ko talaga siyang pinirmahan niya. Okay?
So, sure ako na siya yun.
Yes. Okay. So, also he authenticates the document and verifies its due execution. Okay. Again, if he does that, si court, okay. Pwede kong pagkatiwalaan tong dokumentong to. Tinignan ng notaryo.
Oy, notaryo, kakampi ko yan.
Oo, kakampi ko yan binigyan ko ng authority yan mag-check and mag-authenticate.
Kung okay sa kanya,
di okay na rin sa amin. Ganon. Yan ang sinisimplify lang namin. But generally, that's how it is. Okay? So, that's what a notary does. No? So, pwede niyo yung tanungin, no? Attorney, kung ganun, nakakapag panotaryo na ako dati. Pwede bang na lang, non-appearance na lang?
Mahirap yan.
So it's important that we discuss, no? Very quickly, what happens? What are the steps, general steps when a document is notarized? Okay, so generally, kung meron tayong in-execute ni affidavit or kasulatan or whatever, no? So pupunta tayo sa notary public. Okay?
Ito yung tama.
Ito yung tama.
Stricto na
if you've experienced different from that, we're just giving you yung general na ideal na scenarios. Okay?
Just know na kung sakaling it deviates from this, hindi yan yung official.
Yes. Oo. Baka may mga shortcuts nang nangyari. Okay? So, pupunta tayo we go to the notary public. Kailangan ba pirmado na yung dokumento?
Under the rules, it has to be signed there.
Yes. Why? Because titignan nung notary. Diba? So, you go there. Please don't sign the document in advance. Okay? Because generally, the notary should not even entertain documents without being signed in their presence. Okay? So, ayun. Of course, ikaw na magpapanotaryo, important na meron kang dala. Ang dala mo ay yung katunayan na ikaw si Jhun-jhun or kung sino man. No?
And how do you prove that?
Bring an ID.
Kaya lang, not all IDs are equal.
Yes. So there's a long list of IDs. Ako, my rule of thumb would be, if it's government issued, like a passport, driver's license, or if you have a BIR ID or yung mga taxpayer's ID, SSS, yan, mga government issued. I think generally they're accepted by notaries. No?
I have a quick tip about that, Attorney Ramon. If the documents are going to have international transactions or repercussions, better to use passport. Mas madaling ina-accept ng mga foreign entities or foreign governments yung passport natin versus yung possibly driver's license. Mas malakas lang. Pwede naman ilaban, pero just a tip, just to make your transactions smoother and easier.
Yeah, ako, I agree. No, whenever I have something notarized under my name, I present to the notary yung passport ko over the driver's license. Okay? Now, once the nakita ni notary yung identity, okay, magkapareho yung mukha, ito yung pangalan mo, okay, then the notary may also check your documents. Okay, or yung dinala mong dokumento, no? Sometimes the notary may even you don't know how to make it, they can help you draft it as well, no? So once clear na ni notary yung identification nung affiant or yung signatory, and tingin niya okay naman yung document, yung laman ng document, then you will be asked to sign the document. Okay, in front of him. Anong titignan ng notary dyan, Attorney Erwin?
Totoo ba yung pirma mo?
Yes.
And does it correspond to the ID?
Yes. Oh, isa pa, titignan niya, baka may kasama ka. Baka pinipilit ka nung kasama mo. So,
pirma mo na yun. May nakatutok pala sa gilid.
Na, so,
that's what you call duress.
Under duress.
Or force.
Yeah. So are you being forced to sign something? Are you being intimidated? So they're going to look at that, no?
Kasi all signatures and consent have to be voluntarily and knowingly given.
Correct.
Yun naman chinecheck na notary dyan.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Attorney. And of course, it would be very helpful if you have if the notary or you brought along a witness. Okay?
Kaya usually nasa baba may blanco, di ba? May extra blanks. That's for the witness.
Yes. Okay. So after you sign, what will I'm sure nakikita nyo to, no? So the notary will record the transaction in their journal. And I understand that they sinasubmit nila to sa court, no? Sa RTC. So on that journal, it will show the date, place, and other essential details of the transaction. Wala, SPA ba yan, or deed of sale, or assignment ba yan. Okay? So pag okay na yun na yung ida-dry sealan na, no? So isa-stamp na yon ng notary with his official public seal. Okay? And then ayun na, notarized na yung document. Alright? So, let's go to the next question. Now, okay, gets na namin what's this, itong notaryo na to and what happens. Sino ang mga required or allowed to notarize, Attorney Erwin?
Yung notary.
Yung notary. Now, what are the qualifications of a notary? Okay, the first qualification is dapat abogado siya. Okay, lawyer. So, anong ibig sabihin ng lawyer? Someone who passed the bar exams. Okay, so we have a yearly exam called the bar exams, and somebody who's passed the bar exams. How do you know if your notary passed the bar exams?
You can check it via the Supreme Court website.
Yes, okay. You can check it in the website. The Supreme Court will show you kung pumasa ba yung attorney na yan, no? Okay. Of course, lawyer dapat nag-take ng oath. Pwede kasing pumasa pero hindi naman nag-oath, di ba?
Hindi pa pwede yun.
Oo. And is part of the role of attorneys. Yan. Please be vigilant. Ang daming nagkukunwaring abogado or minsan notaryo na kunwaring abogado.
And if nakasign na yung abogado sa role of attorneys, may roll number siya dapat.
Yes. So, okay. Also, aside from that, of course, the lawyer must be in good standing and must not have been convicted of any crime. No? So, bago sila mapayagang maging notaryo, hindi dapat in good standing sila and hindi pa na-convict. Okay? So,
Attorney Ramon, I have a question.
Okay.
Are all lawyers notaries? Ang dami nagkakagulo dyan.
Yes. Oo. Ilang beses na akong tinanong kung pwede ako magnotaryo. No?
So, ako din. In fact, nagtampo. Damot mo naman, ayaw mo notaryohan to. Hindi nga ako notaryo. Hindi ba abogado ka? Ganun eh.
Yes.
So let us clear this up right now. Okay?
Not all lawyers are notaries. Okay? So, lawyers, to be a notary, you have to be a lawyer, but not all lawyers are notaries. No?
You have to apply for it. Kumbaga special authorization.
Correct. Okay? So, I think there's a petition pa for notarial commission. Mag-a-apply ka sa court. No? And maghi-hearing pa si court, and then Maraming sinasubmit yan, Attorney Erwin, di ba?
Monthly.
Monthly.
May
Ayan.
sinasubmit siya.
So, ano yan? It's an additional responsibility.
That's why I quit.
That's why. So, you were a notary before.
Yeah, kasi 2 years lang naman yan. Hindi ko na ni-renew. Matrabaho actually. Matrabaho. But for some lawyers, it's essential kasi for their line of work. But for me, at the time, it wasn't that crucial.
I think some law firms will even require na
umiikot dun.
Their associates may ano doon. Siguro para mas madali, no? So kung yung mga clients nila kailangan ng panotaryo, imbis na they go out, their associates or notaries. Yan. Okay. So I hope clear na 'yon, ano? Baka may isa ka pang katanungan diyan.
Meron. Okay, sige, so now alam na natin kung sino yung mga pwede maging notary. Pwede ba may pumirma for a notary? Can someone sign on behalf of a notary?
Anong tingin mo ang sagot dyan, Attorney Erwin?
Parang kita pa lang sa requirements
Sino ba dapat ang notary?
Syempre, notary yung authorized ng court.
Yes.
Pero parang may nangyari sa'yo dyan before.
So what? This reminds me of a story. No? When I was a young law student, I was helping a lawyer with his pleadings and whatnot. No? And then one of the documents that needed to be signed was an SPA. No? So
pretty simple.
Yeah, pretty simple. So parang sige, SPA lang naman to. Or SPA or affidavit, basta some very simple document. So I was informed by my friend, uy, kailangan mo panotaryohan yan. Ay, ganun ba? Sige, baka malagot ako kay sir. So I looked for a notary, and lo and behold, wala pa akong kotse nun.
Saan ka nakachamba?
Pag commute ko, may nakakita ako sa MRT.
How convenient.
Very good. Yeah. So, pagbaba ko ng MRT, I was, notary. Very good. So, ayan, panotaryo ako. Ma'am, panotaryo po. Ganyan. Sige po, patingin na ID. Wala akong dala. Sedula. I think I gave a sedula din, no? And then, nakita ko, so, nanotaryohan na, no? And, nakapangalan doon sa notaryo, si Attorney Procopio something. I don't remember if it's really Procopio, but definitely pangalan ng lalaki. Pero the whole time I was watching it, it was this lady. And parang alam mo yung mga bantay in sari-sari stores or whatever. It's just this lady. Kasi parang, okay, very early on, I thought, okay, this must not be a very important function, di ba? This must be just something that people do and not really take seriously. Kasi this was it was obviously not her, di ba? So, so going back, now we know better.
Unless Procopio talaga yung pangalan ni ate.
Well, I could be mistaken. No? Baka naman yun talaga yung pangalan niya. But,
very
unlikely. Right? So, anyway, guys, moral of the story, the notary should be the one actually doing the notarization, no? Not their secretary, not their whoever agent that they have. Okay, so please know that, no, that could be a violation, and you could use that in the future. All right. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is ano ba yung usual or typical notarial acts that we encounter pag nagpapanotaryo tayo. Okay, the first one is usually yung tinatawag natin na jurat. Okay, ano ba yan? Parang yun if you look at yung part where the notary will sign or do his thing, meron yung mga subscribed and sworn to me.
Yun pala yun.
Subscribed and sworn. So what does that mean? During the notarization process, the affiant or yung signatory, pinirmahan niya yung document, and he swore to the contents, to the truthfulness of the contents.
So, dalawa ang sinasabi niya. Totoo itong sinasabi ko at ako yung pumirma rito.
Yes, correct. Okay, yun yung jurat. Kaya usually it starts with subscribed and sworn. So, signed and nag-oath siya. Diba? Or pre-namis niya na totoo yun. So, ano yung usual documents that you see this in? You see this in, kung affidavits, or maybe, usually affidavits, no? Yung jurats, no? Another is yung mga acknowledgement naman. Acknowledgement, you usually see this in mga deeds of assignment, deeds of sale. Here, the parties don't necessarily swear to the truthfulness of the content, but they acknowledge that they are the ones who signed the document.
Usually pag kontrata.
Yes.
Dalawang party.
So, ano yun? Very important yun. Okay? So, usually, jurats, acknowledgements, they also certify copies of documents that they notarize.
That's the third
Yes,
function.
that's the
Okay.
third one, no? So jurat, acknowledgement, and certifying copies. There are a lot under their rules, no? But these are the most typical that we encounter and that you may encounter in the future, no? So they certify, like kung you can't find an original document anymore of something na pinanotaryohan nyo. You may go to your yung dun sa nagnotaryo and ask them to certify that your copy is a certified copy.
Kasama sa binayaran nyo yun.
Yes.
Yung pagtago and then being able to certify it after.
Correct. Okay, so I hope that's clear.
No, balik tayo kay Jhun-jhun.
Okay, balik tayo kay Jhun-jhun. Okay.
So, si Jhun-jhun, ang tanong is, attorney, hindi ko napapirmahan tong kasulatan namin.
Okay.
Is this still valid? Ano mangyayari?
So yeah, so ang tanong niya is should in essence she's asking should all documents be notarized? Okay? Or in other words, do we need a document to always be notarized para maging valid? Okay, so the general rule is no. Okay, so under our civil code, for any contract or whatever, no, as long as the elements are there, kumari in a contract,
the three elements.
The three elements in a contract: consent, subject, and yung cause or consideration. If they're there, then whatever form they're in, minsan kahit verbal, okay lang. And that's due and demandable. Pwede mong ipaglaban yun.
Yes.
Okay?
So take note that wala sa elements yung notarized.
Yes.
Yun, ang
okay.
point nun.
So you're free to you're free to have it in any form. So posibleng okay pa yung yung kasulatan ni Jhun-jhun and his friend. Okay?
Attorney, sa tissue paper sinulat. Okay lang kasi wala rin naman sa civil code na dapat nasa bond paper.
Yes. There under the civil code there are documents na or contracts that need to be in writing. Okay? So I think that's Article 1403 or our Statute of Frauds. But this is a different point, no? All right. So, ano naman yung mga under our law, meron naman mga dapat na notaryohan talaga.
So, specified na ng law kung alin yung dapat notaryohan for it to have effect.
So, general rule doesn't need to be notarized, but
if it falls under this list, pa-notarize tayo.
Yes. So, very quickly, these are acts which have for their object transmission or modification or extinguishment of real rights over immovable property. So, the takeaway here is generally pag may kinalaman sa lupa or real property or immovable, notarize natin yan. Okay. Or if you're going to cessation, repudiation, renunciation of your hereditary rights. Okay, ibig sabihin, yung mga mamanahin mo, ayaw mo na. Or pag may kinalaman sa conjugal partnership of gains or yung mga conjugal properties, malamang at sa hindi, kailangan notarize yan. Okay? If you will be given the power to administer yung properties naman for somebody else, okay? Generally, ano rin yan, kung mga SPA yan, notarized yan. Okay? And same session of actions or rights proceeding from an act appearing in a public document. So please remember, these documents need to be notarized. And if there's any doubt, why don't you please check with your lawyer? No, check natin.
But ako, I have a final point. Pagdating sa ganito, mabuti na yung sobra kaysa kulang.
Yes.
There's no law penalizing you for over notarizing. Na parang, ay naku, hindi na valid to kasi pinanotarize. When in doubt, panotarize na lang.
Yes, actually. Just know, so Jhun-jhun, just know that not all documents need to be notarized. But as a rule, it's nice na if you can, have it notarized na lang.
If it's important enough.
Yes.
Okay. So, Attorney Ramon, can I do a recap? Ang dami natin na pag-usapan.
Yes, but before we do a recap, last situation where we need a notarization is if a government office requires it. So minsan kasi it's already in their checklist, imbis na makipag-away ka pa na hindi naman kailangan notarize yan. Napanood ko yung episode ni Attorney Ramon at saka Attorney Ermin. Hindi naman kailangan. But you know what? Let's just comply para mabilis, no?
So ito yung sinasabi ko, mabuti na yung sobra kaysa kulang.
Yes. So even if you know better. Okay?
So let me do a recap.
Yes.
First off, we talked about what is notarizing. We talked about how it transforms a private document into a public document.
Correct.
Next is, who are the people supposed to notarize? Nalaman natin, hindi pala lahat ng abogado pwedeng magnotaryo. It's a special privilege that you have to apply for. Next, what are the typical notarial acts? We discussed 3. And number 4, should all my documents be notarized? As a general rule, no. Pero may listahan ng mga required. But if it's important enough, It doesn't hurt na maging sobra kaysa kulang.
Yes. All right. For most of you, this episode was more than enough. And if it makes your life easier, then you're welcome. But there are some of you who will watch this episode and end up asking even more questions, such as, Attorney, how do I draft an affidavit of loss? Or, Attorney, what are the parts of a contract? Or even, Attorney, what is the proper document to use in my situation? Now, if that's you, then we invite you to check out our book, Notary Not Included, where we give a crash course on dealing with legal documents. We'll talk about a lawyer's secret to making good legal documents and the 3 biggest myths about legal documents. Also, the 3 rules we follow when drafting documents for clients. Plus, as a bonus, we give you a simplified template set of the 7 most requested documents that you can keep forever. So get the book now at info.legalguide.ph/notary today.
Now, to add to that, if you want us to tackle your question in our show, as we did for Jhun-jhun, Jhun-jhun.
Jhun-jhun. Yeah.
Go to www.legalguide.ph and click the Submit Topic button. Next, we'd like to know what's your biggest takeaway from today's video. So please write it down in the comments and let's talk about it. Last, if you feel we've earned a good rating, please give us a like and subscribe because it gives us feedback that we're doing a good job and it encourages us to do more videos.
Oh, one last thing. Notarization is definitely an important part of our legal system. Now, if it's something that is required that we do, let's please ensure that we understand the process, appear before the notary, and insist that they do the procedure we discussed earlier. Let's do our share in elevating the quality of our systems in the Philippines. It starts not only from us in the legal profession, but from the people that we serve as well. It's your right to insist on what's right. So wasn't that simple? Now go make better choices.